I had a viewer that asked me to do a repost on my Milwaukee Porta Band vertical bandsaw stand that I created for it. So I'm going to try to do my best to document this for that viewer. And I had an earlier video on this that I did one-handed, and hopefully this will be a little more information and explanation on how to build one. This is a Milwaukee, it's a deep cut. I don't know if this will focus or not, but it's a model 6236 deep cut. Been really happy with the saw, and just run you through some of the items. This is and when I built this, I built it out of scrap. It was really a prototype, and it worked well, and I've never gone beyond this. But it's so I built a base plate on it, and I've written the dimensions here. So if anybody wants to try to copy it, more than welcome to copy it. So the stanchion right here, this guy right here, 1.25 inch tubing, 5 inches tall, and you can see that the base plate is 8 3/8 wide, and that this tubing sits back 3 3/8 and 1 3/8 off the side for location. The plate is 8 3/8 by 17 inches long. Again, it's just what I had. And if we go to the very back here, the stanchion that holds the saw, that stanchion is 1 inch by 1.5 inch tubing, 14.5 inches tall. And you can see the position of it there. It sits 3 inches off the one side of the plate, 3 3/8 off the other, and 3/4 of an inch off the back. And you can see it's canted just a little bit, and it was kind of like put it in place and weld it when I built it. The support bolt that holds it in place is a 3/8 hole, and it's 13 1/4 to the center of that hole. So I'll just kind of zoom back in so anybody can get any kind of dimensions. Now the positioning is done with these 1/4 inch dowels, and again, it was where I had set it. I had set the saw on the plate and kind of just played with it, and so I'm going to just go back over to the saw for a second. When we look at the saw here, we got silver and we got red. So back over here on the plate, here's the silver, here's the red, and that line between the two is 5 3/8 from the back of the plate. That position of putting that there allows the cord in this extension here to sit off the back of the plate. I put these feet under the plate. Let me raise this. I put feet under the plate, something I had. Honestly, not real happy with it. And that raise, those feet became necessary so that this piece of the cord had room and didn't bind on the deck below. Otherwise, originally the plate was going to sit flat on the table. So they're 1/4 inch dowels. This one here, 5 3/8 from the back was the edge of it, and 1.5 inches over sets it off the side of the plate. 1/4 inch dowels, I basically put the one in place, lined up the saw how I thought it would fit, tack welded it, and then just bumped the other ones in, which locate on this bottom triangle there on the bottom of the saw. So it actually positions the saw in place. And I'll just try to lift the saw up in there and show you. so you can see how it basically kind of keys the saw into where the saw should sit. It makes the location work well. And there's the hole, and then the adapter piece I made of the handle, which I will show you. So let's go on to that adapter piece. I'm really big about keeping things stock. So originally I had built a handle that went through, and there was a flat bar in here, and then this handle was removed, and a knob came in from the top to secure it. And I didn't like that, because one, you had to undo the knob, then put the knob back in. So I ended up making this guy that goes into the adapter. So that shaft, sorry, one-handed, the shaft to the face is 2 3/4 of an inch long, and it goes through and screws into that adapter. Again, the threads are too long on that. I've never adapted it, but that's what secures the saw into place. So you can see the saw is basically not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall over. If I did it again, I would make those threads shorter, or I would make some sort of fast-acting thread. The trigger mechanism to operate the saw is just a wood dowel, 3 inches long, and the trick way would, of course, would be to buy a foot pedal switch for it. That costs money. So basically, the dowel, you just push it in and hold it onto the trigger, and it operates the saw. I've got the saw unplugged at the moment, and then you pull it out, and then I end up just putting the dowel up in top there, and I know where it's at, and just pull it out of there and drop it in place. Let's give you another shot of this right here, so you can see just the alignment of it. The adapter piece that I made, and I've made a few of them, so here's a couple of views of it. But it's basically fairly simple. Just fits the saw, and the larger radius is there so that there's room for the depth of the thread of the bolt. Other than that, it's just a male-female kind of dado setup for it to fit into the original handle. Nothing too trick on it. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. I mean, in the sizes are basically sized, other than the radius sticking out here. The sizing of it is to fit the handle. That way and then you just put in a longer Allen bolt that goes in and holds the handle. You have to add a 1/4 inch on it. That way the original handle's still in place. Turn it sideways here. Okay, and then the table. So I've got the saw in place. As you can see, it's sturdy, and then the table. I've done some dimensioning on this for you also. Again, it was just scrap that I had. Let me go back here. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So the stanchion to hold the table is 1.25 by 1.25, 5 inches tall. The 5 inches is so that this is the female, and the male can go down in there and be low enough. In the table, the stanchion for the table is inch diameter round, and it's 7 inches tall. And I've given you the dimensions to edge of pipe here. So 6 1/4, 3 3/8, 6 inches, and 2 5/8. Basically, it was the location of the table. And again, that's something I just kind of fitted as I went. The table itself is 10 inches by 10.5 inches. And again, that was just dimensions that I had. Well, I don't know what happened there. So back at it. So I don't know where that cut off. I may be repeating myself here a little bit, but the bumper is what gets removed when most people do these. And my big thought is I want the saw to be simply removable and used as a stock saw. So here we take the handle out, the saw comes right out of the holder. Most of them, they remove this and put some sort of adapting device. And so to use the saw as a standard Porta Band, you have to remove and replace the original bumper. So just back in here, and the other thing that made me go with this design is that here you can see I basically have, you know, an inch of the blade showing, or you can have, you know, 4 or 5 inches of the blade showing. All of the aftermarket units out there have the complete blade showing, which is really unsafe when you're cutting small pieces. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you know, go ahead and put it in the comments. I use this all the time. They make various blades for these. I think they make 6 TPI up to a 26 TPI. I use the heck out of this guy. So, and you can look at the original video too, but it was quite jumpy, and I don't know that this is much better. So anyway, I hope this helps. Thanks. Here's just a quick video of the saw in action. Just kind of show you how easy it is, you know, to break it down. Basically, pull the table out, come back here, pull the handle out, and now you got a Porta Band that you can use handheld. Hope that helps you guys.